Hello everyone and welcome back to Starcraft 2, stealing a build or learning a Forge Fast Expand. Again, like I said, I'm doing this all in kind of one big sitting, which is the best way to do it. So I haven't really named what I'm calling this series yet, so whatever's in the title, welcome to it. So in the last episode, we just played a couple of games and I started to get the hang of placing all my buildings and what order to place them in and where to place them when doing a Forge Fast Expand versus Zerg or versus other Protoss. It doesn't work so good against other Terran players, well, against Terran players even, because they can do Reaper Rush, would probably totally destroy it, because you don't get that first Stalker out until quite late. You're relying on that cannon to hold the front door, and Reapers can just say, screw your front door, I'm going to jump up this cliff. So if you're going against Terran, it is really an all-in. You will either, if you do it and they go Reaper, you're done for. So no point in doing that, unless you get a Mothership core out, and then you should be able to save your Nexus with like Photon Overcharge or something. But anyways, we've moved past the buildings now. I think I've got it down. I managed to get 3 games in a row where I could beat the easy computer at about 13 minutes. Obviously, it'll be longer if I'm going against a good player. But at one point, I managed to catch them like with a full army before they'd even expanded, which was really nice. So it's not perfect, but I'm getting the hang of it now, and I'm getting there. So this next part is we're going to see what units he makes. So we're going to split it up into 3 groups again. We're going to have what he builds before he expands, and then we're going to have what he builds as he expands, and then after and then what he builds after he expands. I apologize for my words. So yeah, I'm guessing all I've been doing is boosting out probes right now. I mean, I could delay it a little bit and boost out a Mothership core for defense, because this is Heart of the Swarm like I'm playing, but this replay is not. As you can see, it's warping Mothership, and I don't have, I'm playing Heart of the Swarm. So this isn't going to be perfect, but, I have the option of warping in a Mothership core to delay it if I want. I haven't done that yet, but it'll probably hold off the early rushes. So let's just play the game and see what he builds. So instantly, probes get rallied. And he's building production. So he's building probes. So he's building lots and lots of probes. Let me just write it down. Probes. So he currently has 8. Yeah, he's just building probes, and then he builds his pylon when he's pretty much maxed out at 9-ish. So it should be about 10. Is he building? He's not building any probes whilst he builds his pylon. He saves up for his pylon, so he stops at about 9 or 10. So probes until 9 out of 10, or 9 out of 10. So he saves up, and then he sends off his probe to scout. I don't do that because I'm Bronze League, but it would be handy if I did do it. And then he's just building more probes. See, he's got 3 queued up. 9 out of 10, and then more probes until he's on 12. He's just literally chrono boosting out probes. Nothing really, fantastically interesting. This is exactly what I was doing. So about 14. Or is he going to max it at 15? Yep, so 15. I usually put it down at 14. So I'm a bit earlier than he is. So he's going to have a slightly better economy than I have. But to be honest, I'm Bronze League, and I had like 3 grand in the bank whilst I was doing this. My phone is currently going off. Whoops. Downstairs. Ignore you. So he's actually doing his Forge at 16 with roughly 200 in the bank. So basically all he does is make probes. So he's done probes until 16, and then he just waits around, and he can build his Nexus straight afterwards. His scouting probe, I don't know what happened to actually. It's over there, so it's still alive, technically. So there goes his Nexus down, and he's built another pylon right away. So he does Nexus pylon straight away, and I usually, forget about that. So what is he building now? He's still building more probes. Group 2. Probes. There's his cannon. And his gateway. So obviously he's stopped building probes at about 19. Oh no, he's carrying on. So we should have about 20 probes at this point. I apologise if I'm going a bit weird, but yeah, anyways. He's still a bit more, but at the expansion, he'll probably kick in with some more. So group 3, he's still just building probes, and we are 4 minutes in, and he's not got a single offensive unit, and that's why this cannon is so important. But if you're going against Reapers, they can just come up here into the main, wipe everything out. You've got nothing unless you've got a mothership core, but you can't because you don't have any gas. Pain in the ass. So as soon as Nexus is up, he puts down more probes, which is great. And then when does he get his first unit? Is his first unit a Zealot? I like to get a Zealot because I have plenty of cash, and he doesn't. So just put probes at the new expansion. So his Cybernetics core has gone down, but he's not built any Zealots, which is a worry, because I like to build a Zealot, and I don't know how he's spending all his money. This is actually like completely new to me, because I'm doing mostly the same, I hope, but I've got so much more money than he has. It's really weird. So there goes his Stargate. He still hasn't built any offensive units yet, whilst his enemy has expanded twice. And so there goes Warp Gate, and he's starting his sentry. So sentry first. So he's doing his sentry first, so he can force field off, which is, you know, a good idea. I probably would prefer to get that Stalker out because it's slightly cheaper, you know, on gas anyway. But yeah, he's got loads more probes. But let's just take a look at his probe count. Is it Control E? No, I completely forget. It is Army Supply Units killed. Control A. He's got 38. He's got 40 at this point. Wow. So there we go, and then his Void Ray, Sentry first, and then Void Ray ×1. Oh, he done another double gas. I did not notice that. Ooh, that's a bit of a bad move on my part. So that's optional. I mean, I've been able to completely warp in Stalkers and Sentries just fine on my double gas instead of quad gas. So yeah, so those early Sentries are very not too handy in my point of view, but you know, this is a pro, so he knows what he's doing. I'll probably build Stalkers, so I'm gonna modify this Sentry first or Stalker. And he's got more pylons going down, which is exactly what I've been doing. But not behind the mineral line, but you know. And then another pylon, obviously. So he's still not built any Stalkers yet. So let's look at units. He's got 3 sentries and 1 void ray so far at the 8-minute mark, and he's going to push out in like seconds. So his gateways are down. They're going, well, his warp gates are down. They're going into gateways. There we go. And now he's going to warp in sentries and Stalkers. Yay! Stalkers at war. And that's basically all there is to it. So he moves out with this army. As soon as his first warp, he pushes out to try and do some damage. The Void Ray is going to harass, and he puts pylons down to do the proxy, which is one of the main advantages of the Protoss. There we go. So there's his pylon, his proxy pylon. He doesn't warp in anymore at the main, so can't remember what it is. Production is D, so he's started his ground weapons as well, which is quite handy. There we go, and from there on it is basically a win situation if you've caught them off guard. So before the 10-minute marks, he has, let's just pause it here. So at 10 minutes, his units, he has 15 Stalkers, 6 Sentries, and 1 Void Ray. So down. So 3 at 10 mins. He has 15 Stalkers, 6 Sentries, and 1 Void Ray. We're not going to count the pros. He's got about 50 pros. I actually might well. So, plus pro. Okay, so that's basically what we're aiming for. About 10 minutes, get this. But yeah, we're going to have to start to get the units in. I mean, I'm quite happy with the units I'm building at the moment, but I'm not, because I've got way too much money and I don't know how to order it all. It's still, I'm bronze, I can't do this perfectly, so I'm just doing it to the best that suits me, try and iron out any bad habits. So we've looked at this game for about 9-ish minutes, and now we're going to try and mix in his unit composition, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. To be honest, as long as I can get out roughly a similar amount of units, I should be okay for my early push. Anyways, we're going to go into a very easy game against Zerg once again, and I'm going to change the map this time because it's nice to try this on different maps. I'll probably try it on this one just to see what happens. So, let us quit out of the replay.